Hello everyone! Today I wanted to try something a little different with my videos. I wanted to make my videos a little bit different and do something that no one else was doing, and so I thought I'd try doing a little bit of a picture-in-picture of me doing the scrapbooking or card making video. But not only will you see my hands, but you'll see my face. I'm going to minimize myself and make a little picture-in-picture feature as I'm doing the voiceover so that you can see my face and actually see me speaking, and I just thought it might make it a little more personal and just a little different. So please let me know what you think, and if you like this feature and this video, just leave me a comment below or give me a thumbs up and let me know, and I'll continue working on this feature. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to now minimize and get right to the watercolor video. Thanks! So to begin, I wanted to show you my collection of Reinkers. Some of these I actually used to re-ink my ink pads, but most of them, I don't know why I ordered so many. So I have these few stamp sets I'm going to be using from Stampin' Up! To do these techniques, and I'm just going to be playing around with these Reinkers and watercoloring. So to begin, I'm stamping this first outline image, and then I'm going to simply use these three colors of Reinkers to color it in. I'll have them down below in my description of all the colors I used. I simply dropped a drop of each color into my little palette and just spritzed some water in there to dilute them a little bit. And this is the very light pink, I believe it's called Pink Pirouette, and I'm just very lightly going to color the entire floral image with this color. Now I'm using a very fine tip brush here to get into all these little crevices, but nothing else more special am I doing here. Now to get a darker color, I'm just using the Reinker by itself without adding any water to it in my palette to get this darker shade. And then I'm just going around the outside of this large flower, and then I'm going to go over those lines that are right there on the flower itself to add some shadings in those areas. It's very easy to do with a stamp image like this. And I'm just wiping off on my paper towel there to switch colors. So I'm using my yellow color just to do the center of the flowers, and then I'm going to move on to the second flower, and this is I believe it's Elegant Eggplant, which is this purple color. It's a really dark color, so when I'm picking up the color on my brush, I'm dabbing it first on my paper towel to wipe off some of the intensity of the color because it is really dark. And then now just using this green, this is certainly Celery, which is actually one of my favorite greens from Stampin' Up! And I'm just going to color in all these leaves very simply. Back to the purple, and as you can see, I'm just dabbing on my paper towel. So simple, very easy to do watercoloring like this. And then the final touch, I'm going to use the green again just to outline these stems here. And that completes this first image that I was playing with my watercolors. I think it turned out really nice. So on to my next technique. I'm using this image with a larger brush, and I'm going to take the watercolor colors and just paint them directly onto the stamp. So I've never done this technique before, but I like the way it turned out, especially with this stamp set that actually lends itself to watercoloring. So because it's kind of sketchy, it's not harsh lines. So I usually do this kind of technique with markers, so I just thought, why not try it with watercolor? So as you can see, I'm using the darker purple on the outside. I'm mixing colors, not just sticking to one color. And then I'm still using watercolor paper, and then I'm just going to press it firmly and hold it in place for a little bit, and then release. And that's the image you get. I think it turned out really nice. And so I'm going to do the same technique with another image from that same stamp set, just to try it out. So I'm using the greens and the pink, and again I'm just painting right on my stamp. This is very easy, a very easy way to get a watercolor look, and it is very forgiving as well. So I'm going to stamp that here. I'm pressing firmly, And there's the finished result. So I'm going to set those aside to dry for a little bit and move on to another technique. So now I'm just wetting my watercolor paper, and I'm just painting directly on it with the different colors. Now here I had some trouble with my brushes, that the bristles were actually falling off, so I got really cheap brushes. So if you're going to be doing this a lot, I recommend making the investment and getting some nice brushes so you don't have to deal with this. It was really frustrating because the bristles kept falling out, but I dealt with it. As you can see, I keep fiddling with it, but get some good brushes so you don't have to worry about it. So I'm just taking different colors and I'm making a scene, and I'm just painting directly on my watercolor paper. And here this blue was a lot darker than I expected and that I wanted. As you can see in my palette, I added a lot of water because I wanted to mute the color some more, but it was just really dark. So I went with it because this was the only blue I had. But in the future, maybe I would do this with a lighter color blue for the sky, because now I'm going to stamp on top of it. And I'm using StazOn ink, and as you will see, it's hard to see the trees, I think, in the blue area because it is so dark. So as you can see what I mean. So if that blue was a little bit lighter, I think I would have liked that a lot better. And here again, I didn't want to waste my color, so I just thought I'd try some more. I'm just going to scribble some paint again on the watercolor paper, and I'm just gonna do 3 stripes here in 3 light pastel colors. So I'm using the same pink, the celery green, and then the light purple down at the bottom, or sorry, on the top here. And then I'm just going to stamp right on these. So to begin on the yellow, I'm just going to stamp a sentiment. And I like the way that turned out. Again, very nice and simple. And here I'm going to do some different images here. I was going to do like a butterfly, but I just thought that's pretty typical. And so, excuse me, so I dug through my stash and I found these lantern stamps that I haven't used for ages. And this is from American Crafts. It's a much older set, but I like the way it looks with these different colors behind it. So stamp those just in black. And then I have a sentiment here from Hero Arts, and just stamp that in the corner. And I think that's a nice focal image for any card. So here I want to show you the cards I made with these little things that I was experimenting with watercolors. So here's one. Just added a sentiment, used some scraps. And here again, I just stamped another one of those flowers the same way, made it the focal point. And here I just fussy cut that one out and made a nice card with it. So I hope you enjoyed these different ways of playing with watercolor. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.